What if you could learn data science, AI, cybersecurity, cloud computing, digital marketing, and even project management completely free? No fees, no catch. And yes, you get a certificate too. Welcome to OMNI Academy, Pakistan's leading IT training institute since 2010, part of MHSG Consulting Group, helping thousands build real-world skills and land jobs. Every month, OMNI Academy offers 50+ free workshops taught by industry experts covering everything from AI and cloud to cybersecurity, networking, and more. Whether you're a student, a professional, or just starting out, there's something for you. Join online from anywhere in Pakistan, Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, or beyond. So don't wait. Register now at omniacademy.com and secure your spot today. OMNI Academy, your career transformation starts here, and it starts free.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this professional workshop on ISO 27001, Information Security Management Systems Certification Preparation. Whether you are an IT professional, system administrator, cybersecurity analyst, compliance officer, auditor, student, or someone planning to enter the information security field, this workshop is designed to help you understand ISO 27001 from basic to exam level in the simplest and most practical way possible. By the end of this workshop, you will understand what ISO 27001 is, learn information security management systems step by step, understand risk assessment and controls, learn audit concepts, prepare for ISO 27001 certification exams, learn exam techniques to pass in your first attempt, and understand real-world implementation examples. This workshop follows the professional structure and learning approach inspired by the ISO 27001 Lead Auditor training available at OMNI Academy ISO 27001 Lead Auditor course. So get ready for a practical, engaging, and career-focused learning session. Before we dive into technical concepts, let's discuss something important. Every day, companies lose millions because of cyber attacks. Employee data gets leaked. Banking systems are attacked. Customer information is stolen. Hospitals face ransomware. Governance systems become targets. Now imagine, what if your organization could create a systematic process to protect information assets? That is exactly where ISO 27001 comes in. ISO 27001 is not just about cybersecurity tools. It is about processes, policies, risk management, governance, continuous improvement, information protection culture. Organizations worldwide trust ISO 27001 to secure financial information, customer records, HR systems, cloud environments, business operations, intellectual property. And because of this global demand, ISO 27001 certified professionals are highly valuable. ISO 27001 is an international standard for information security management systems, commonly called ISMS. It is published by ISO, International Organization for Standardization, IEC, International Electrotechnical Commission. The goal of ISO 27001 is simple: protect the confidentiality, integrity, availability of information. This is called the CIA triad. CIA triad: confidentiality. Only authorized people should access information. Integrity: information should remain accurate and unaltered. Availability: information should be available when needed. Let's understand with real-life example. Imagine a hospital system. Confidentiality: patient records should only be accessible by authorized staff. Integrity: medical reports must not be altered incorrectly. Availability: doctors should access records instantly during emergencies. If any of these fail, lives may be at risk, legal penalties may occur, reputation damage happens. That's why ISO 27001 matters. An ISMS is a structured framework used to manage information security risks. Think of it like a complete security management ecosystem. An ISMS includes policies, procedures, risk assessments, security controls, employee awareness, monitoring, auditing, improvement plans. It's not just software. It's an organizational security strategy. Interactive question. Imagine your company has no password policy, no backup plan, no employee training, no access control. Would that company be secure? Of course not. That's why ISMS exists. Benefits, business benefits, customer trust, better reputation, competitive advantage, regulatory compliance, technical benefits, reduced cyber risks, better incident management, strong access controls, improved monitoring. Career benefits, high-paying jobs, international opportunities, compliance roles, audit careers, cybersecurity leadership. Today, companies are actively hiring ISO consultants, compliance analysts, lead auditors, GRC specialists, security officers. ISO 27001 certification can become your gateway into cybersecurity and governance careers. Now we are entering one of the most important parts of ISO 27001. If you truly understand these clauses, passing the certification exam becomes much easier. Many students try to memorize clauses word by word. That approach usually fails in the exam. Why? Because ISO 27001 exams test your understanding, not your memorization. You must understand why each clause exists, what problem it solves, how organizations implement it, how auditors evaluate it. Think of these clauses as building blocks of a secure organization. Each clause has a specific purpose. Together, they create a complete information security management system, also known as ISMS. Clause 4, context of organization. Clause 5, leadership. Clause 6, planning. Clause 7, support. Clause 8, operation. Clause 9, performance evaluation. Clause 10, improvement. Clause 4 is the foundation of the entire ISMS. Before an organization can secure information, it must first understand itself. Imagine a doctor prescribing medicine without checking the patient's condition. Would that make sense? Of course not. Similarly, organizations cannot build effective security controls unless they first understand their environment, their risks, their stakeholders, their business operations. This is exactly what Clause 4 focuses on. Part 1. Understanding internal issues. Slide internal issues examples. Company culture, existing technologies, employee awareness, organizational structure, existing policies, IT infrastructure. Internal issues are factors inside the organization that affect information security. These include company culture, employee behavior, existing systems, technical capabilities, business processes, available resources. Let's understand this with an example. Real example. Imagine a company where employees share passwords openly, use personal USB devices, ignore security updates. Even if the organization buys expensive firewalls, the internal culture itself becomes a security weakness. Another example. A company using outdated Windows systems may face higher cyber risks because unsupported systems become vulnerable. So auditors ask, does the organization understand its internal weaknesses? Part 2. Understanding external issues. Slide external issues examples. Cyber threats, legal regulations, industry competition, economic conditions, vendor risks, market changes. External issues are factors outside the organization that can impact security. Organizations do not operate in isolation. They are affected by government regulations, cybercrime trends, customer expectations, third-party vendors, technology changes. For example, a healthcare company must comply with patient privacy laws, financial regulations, fraud threats, online banking attacks. A software company working with international clients must consider GDPR, data protection laws, cloud security risks. This means security planning must align with the external environment. Clause 5. Leadership introduction. Many organizations fail in information security for one simple reason. Management does not support security initiatives. Employees usually follow leadership behavior. If management ignores security, employees ignore security. ISO 27001 strongly emphasizes leadership because security must start from the top. Part 1. Leadership commitment slide. Leadership commitment management must support ISMS, provide resources, promote security culture, ensure implementation. Top management must actively support ISMS implementation. This means approving budgets, assigning responsibilities, supporting training, participating in security decisions. Security is not only IT department responsibility. It becomes an organizational responsibility. Real example. Imagine an IT team requests budget for firewalls, backup systems, security awareness training, but management refuses. Eventually, a ransomware attack occurs. The company loses customer data and millions in recovery costs. This shows why leadership support is critical. Part 2. Information Security Policy Slide. Security policy defines organization security direction, objectives, responsibilities, commitment. The information security policy is like the organization's security promise. It defines what management expects, security goals, employee responsibilities, compliance commitments. Employees should understand what is allowed, what is prohibited, how information must be protected. Example, a company policy may state, password sharing is prohibited, sensitive data must be encrypted, employees must report incidents immediately. These policies create accountability. Clause 6. Planning. Introduction. This clause is considered the heart of ISO 27001. Why? Because this is where organizations identify and manage risks. Everything in security revolves around one major concept: risk. Without understanding risk, organizations waste money, implement weak controls, and ignore real threats. Part 1. Risk Assessment Slide. Risk Assessment. Identify assets, threats, vulnerabilities, impacts, likelihood. Risk assessment means identifying what can go wrong. Organizations identify important assets, possible threats, existing vulnerabilities, business impacts. Then they evaluate how likely is the risk, how serious is the impact. Practical example. Imagine a company stores customer data in a cloud server. Asset, customer database. Threat, hacker attack. Vulnerability, weak passwords. Impact, data breach. Likelihood, high. Result, critical risk. Risk formula, risk equals likelihood times impact. Part 2. Risk Treatment Slide. Risk treatment options: avoid, mitigate, transfer, accept. After identifying risks, organizations decide how to handle them. There are 4 major options. 1. Avoid risk. Stop risky activity completely. Example, a company stops using insecure software. 2. Mitigate risk. Reduce risk using controls. Example, installing firewalls and MFA. 3. Transfer risk. Shift risk to another party. Example, cyber insurance. 4. Accept risk. Accept low-level risks when treatment costs are higher than impact. Part 3. Security Objective Slide. Security objectives examples: reduce incidents, improve awareness, strengthen monitoring, increase backup reliability. Organizations must establish measurable security objectives. Good objectives are clear, measurable, achievable. Bad objective: improve security. Good objective: reduce phishing incidents by 40% within 12 months. Now, we are entering the operational side of ISO 27001. Earlier, we discussed understanding the organization, leadership responsibilities, planning, and risk management. But planning alone is never enough. A company may create excellent policies, perfect documentation, detailed risk assessments. But if employees are not trained, operations are not controlled, performance is not monitored, and improvements are never made, then the ISMS will eventually fail. This is where clauses 7, 8, 9, and 10 become extremely important. These clauses transform security from paperwork into real-world implementation. Clause 7. Support. Clause 7 focuses on the support system required to run an effective information security management system. Think of it this way. Even the best security strategy will fail if employees are not trained, communication is poor, resources are missing, documentation is unmanaged. Clause 7 ensures organizations have the foundation needed to operate ISMS successfully. Main elements of Clause 7. Clause 7 includes resources, competence, awareness, communication, documented information. Part 1. Resources. Examples: budget, security tools, skilled employees, infrastructure, training systems. Organizations must provide proper resources for ISMS implementation. Security cannot function without investment. Resources may include firewalls, antivirus software, backup systems, security teams, monitoring tools, employee training budgets. One major mistake organizations make is expecting strong security without proper investment. Real example: imagine a hospital handling thousands of patient records, but no backup server exists, systems are outdated, security team is understaffed. Eventually, a ransomware attack shuts down hospital operations. This happened globally to many healthcare organizations. Why? Because security requires resources. Part 2. Competence. Employees must have skills, education, experience, training. Clause 7 requires employees performing security-related tasks to be competent. Competence means people must know what they are doing. For example, a system administrator managing firewalls must understand network security, access control, threat detection. An auditor must understand audit techniques, ISO requirements, risk management concepts. Organizations cannot assign critical security responsibilities to untrained employees. Example: imagine a junior employee accidentally exposes cloud storage publicly because they lack cloud security training. Now customer data becomes accessible online. This becomes both a technical issue and a competence issue. Part 3. Awareness, security policies, risks, their responsibilities, incident reporting. One of the biggest cybersecurity weaknesses is human behavior. Employees click phishing emails, share passwords, ignore updates, use weak passwords. This is why awareness training is essential. ISO 27001 requires organizations to ensure employees understand security risks, policies, consequences of violations, reporting procedures. Real-life example: an employee receives an email saying, "Your account will be suspended. Click here immediately." Without awareness training, the employee clicks the link, enters credentials, and attackers gain access. Now ask yourself, was this only a technical failure? No, it was also an awareness failure. Clause 8 is where security becomes operational. Planning is complete. Resources are available. Now organizations must execute processes, implement controls, manage risks in daily operations. This clause focuses on actual implementation. Main areas of Clause 8. Slide Clause 8 includes operational planning, risk treatment implementation, process control, managing changes. Part 1. Operational planning and control. Must follow planned processes, implement controls, monitor activities. Organizations must ensure operations are controlled consistently. This means security should not depend on luck or individual behavior. Processes should be standardized. Example: suppose one IT administrator enables MFA, another administrator disables it, and no standard process exists. This inconsistency creates vulnerabilities. Operational controls ensure consistent implementation. Part 2. Implementing risk treatment. Examples: firewalls, encryption, MFA, access controls, monitoring systems. Earlier in Clause 6, organizations identified risks. Now in Clause 8, they actually implement solutions. This is where policies become actions. Real example: risk, unauthorized access to customer database; treatment, multi-factor authentication, role-based access control, activity logging. Now the organization actively reduces risk. Part 3. Change management. Examples: new software system upgrades, cloud migration, vendor onboarding. One of the biggest security dangers comes from unmanaged changes. Organizations constantly change systems, applications, vendors, infrastructure. Every change introduces potential risks. Example: a company migrates servers to the cloud without proper testing. Result: sensitive data becomes publicly accessible. Why? Because changes were not properly controlled. Clause 9. Performance evaluation introduction. Imagine driving a car without checking speed, fuel, engine condition. Would that be safe? Of course not. Similarly, organizations must continuously monitor ISMS performance. Clause 9 ensures organizations evaluate whether security controls are actually working. Main areas of Clause 9 includes monitoring, measurement, analysis, internal audits, management reviews. Part 1. Monitoring and measurement. Examples: failed login attempts, incident trends, malware detections, backup success rates. Organizations must monitor security performance continuously. They should measure number of incidents, system vulnerabilities, patch management status, security awareness effectiveness. Without monitoring, organizations cannot identify weaknesses. Example: a company notices failed login attempts increased by 300%. This may indicate brute force attacks, credential stuffing, insider threats. Monitoring helps organizations detect issues early. Part 2. Internal audit. Purpose: verify compliance, identify gaps, improve processes. Internal audits are essential in ISO 27001. Auditors evaluate: are policies followed? Are controls effective? Are risks managed properly? Internal audits help organizations identify problems before external auditors do. Example: internal audit discovers employees still use weak passwords despite policy requirements. Corrective actions can now be implemented before certification audit. Part 3. Management Review. Top management reviews audit results, risks, incidents, performance metrics, improvement opportunities. Management reviews ensure leadership remains involved in ISMS performance. Top management evaluates what is working, what is failing, what improvements are needed. This keeps ISMS aligned with business objectives. Clause 10. Improvement Introduction. One of the most powerful concepts in ISO 27001 is continuous improvement. Security is never finished. Threats evolve daily. Technology changes constantly. Attackers continuously improve. Organizations must improve continuously to remain secure. Main areas of Clause 10 includes nonconformities, corrective actions, continual improvement. Part 1. Nonconformities. Slide. Nonconformity definition. Failure to meet a requirement. A nonconformity occurs when policies are not followed, controls fail, requirements are unmet. Nonconformities may be minor, major. Auditors identify these during assessments. Example: policy requires monthly backup testing. Reality: backups were never tested. This becomes a nonconformity. Part 2. Corrective actions. Steps: identify root cause, fix issue, prevent recurrence. ISO 27001 does not only ask organizations to fix problems, it asks them to identify why the problem happened. This is called root cause analysis. Example: problem: employees repeatedly fall for phishing attacks. Weak solution: send warning email. Better corrective action: conduct awareness training, simulate phishing exercises, improve email filtering. Now the root cause is addressed. Risk assessment. This is the heart of ISO 27001. Risk assessment means identifying what can go wrong and how serious it can be. Example scenario: a company stores customer data on a server. Threat: ransomware attack. Vulnerability: no antivirus updates. Impact: customer data loss. Likelihood: high. Risk: critical. Slide. Risk formula. Risk equals likelihood times impact. The higher the likelihood and impact, the greater the risk. Risk treatment options: avoid, stop risky activity, mitigate, reduce risk with controls, transfer, use insurance vendor, accept low-level risk. What are controls? Controls are safeguards used to reduce risks. ISO 27001 Annex A includes security controls covering multiple domains. Important control categories: access control, user permissions, MFA, password policies, physical security, CCTV, locked server rooms, visitor management, network security, firewalls, IDS, IPS, VPNs, human resource security, employee awareness, background verification, incident management, reporting incidents, response procedures, backup and recovery, data backups, disaster recovery. Real example: imagine an employee leaves the company. If HR fails to notify IT, the employee may still access company systems. This becomes a major security risk. A proper control would be immediate account deactivation process. Important documents: ISMS scope, security policy, risk assessment report, statement of applicability, internal audit reports, incident logs. One of the biggest exam mistakes is confusing documentation purposes. Remember, every document exists to prove control, monitoring, and improvement. What is an audit? An audit checks whether processes follow defined requirements. Internal audits help organizations identify gaps, verify compliance, improve security. Audit process planning, evidence collection, interviews, observation, reporting, corrective actions. Example: auditor asks, "Do you enforce password policy?" Company replies, "Yes." Auditor asks, "Show evidence." Now documentation becomes important. How to pass in first attempt. Now let's discuss the most important part: passing the certification exam. Exam tips: understand concepts. Don't memorize blindly. Focus on clauses, especially risk management, leadership, auditing, Annex A controls. Practice scenario questions. ISO exams are practical. Learn terminology. Understand risk, asset, threat, vulnerability, control, corrective action. Read questions carefully. Many answers appear similar. Eliminate wrong answers. Use logical elimination. Powerful exam strategy. Usually 2 options are incorrect immediately. Then compare remaining 2. Choose the answer aligned with risk-based thinking, continuous improvement, compliance, evidence-based auditing. Remember, cybersecurity is not only about hacking tools. Organizations need professionals who can build systems, manage risks, ensure compliance, protect business operations. ISO 27001 gives you that professional edge. Before we conclude, we have something special for all workshop participants. For the next 7 days only, all attendees of this workshop can avail an exclusive 20% discount offer on professional training programs and certification preparation courses through OMNI Academy official website. This is a limited-time opportunity to continue your professional growth and certification journey. Visit OMNI Jobs and Internship portal. If you are looking for IT jobs, cybersecurity opportunities, internships, remote positions, career growth opportunities, then make sure to visit the OMNI Jobs and Internship portal regularly. Thousands of students and professionals use it to discover fresh job postings, internship opportunities, career resources, hiring updates. Subscribe to OMNI Jobs WhatsApp channel, High Energy. And don't miss daily updates. Subscribe to the OMNI Jobs WhatsApp channel today to receive latest jobs, internship alerts, walk-in interviews, IT training updates, career opportunities, certification workshop announcements directly on your mobile phone. Stay ahead of the competition and never miss an opportunity again. Thank you everyone for joining this professional ISO 27001 workshop session. We hope this workshop helped you understand ISO 27001 fundamentals, build confidence for certification exams, learn practical information security concepts, prepare to pass the exam in your first attempt. Keep learning, keep improving, and keep securing the digital world. Thank you and best of luck for your certification journey.